Welcome to another season. Welcome back to my channel. Season 2 is upon us. And actually, I've now decided to combine my life in my 30s and life in Cape Town. I got inspired by another creator, and let me actually find her name so I can actually credit people properly. So I got inspired by Tisha Shithra. She does 30s and the NY city, New York City. So I decided I actually want to do that. I'm going to call mine 30s and the Cape Town city because I don't know if many people know CPT is the abbreviation of Cape Town, but we'll test out the labels. So welcome to season 2 of 30s and me in the Cape Town city. And yeah, I'm actually excited for season 2 and taking you on a journey, and hopefully we'll be reaching all our goals this year as well. Even though it's January, we're feeling a little bit defeated, a little bit demotivated. I was having serious imposter syndrome yesterday about just like my business as a freelance photographer, videographer, and wedding content creator, where I was just kind of like, am I doing the right thing? But episode 1, I think for me is going to be discussing about actually like de-influencing you as a 33-year-old, soon to be 34-year-old. I'm going to be 34 in 4 days. And I just was thinking about like how like this is just the year to just do whatever you want. Like stop trying to get everything that other influencers are showing you, blah blah blah. Like de-influence yourself. And also just to be like, nobody's life is also perfect. All of that is also very curated. And like, we are human. We have our ups and downs, and nothing in life is perfect. Our worlds are not perfect. Everything's not rainbows and sunshine. I'm not smiling all the time. I thought about it when I was busy editing some videos, and I did a video for my skincare routine, morning skincare routine. And mid skincare routine, I started crying. So I was talking about like a topic that was just like bringing me down and stuff like that. Let's just insert clip. I was also thinking about how my one friend was like to me, and I try not to burst out crying in front of him because he was like, I worry about you because you're always pouring into others. And what about for yourself? And I was like, when people see you, okay, like, try not to shed tears here whilst we do our skincare routine. It's nice to be seen, and it's nice for people to be like, I see you, girl, and I see you doing all of this, but don't forget to look after yourself, basically. So yeah, it's just basically just to be like, and I didn't even edit or post it. I was kind of like, nobody wants to see you cry. Nobody wants to see you this vulnerable. Like, people just want to see your happy life in Cape Town, life in your 30s. But I told myself I want to be authentically myself and actually just show you me, like me core, okay? I want to be authentically myself on here, the ups and the downs. I think also there's this fear that the internet can be cruel. The internet warriors these days are getting very, very comfortable. Like the things I see sometimes, like, oh my God, why are you crying in front of the camera? Oh, I can't believe you picked up your camera whilst you're crying. And I'm like, okay, luckily I literally was in the middle of a skincare routine when I started crying. So I was kind of like, okay, but like, it can be a lot. And finding balance with my mental well-being, I'm actually definitely in a better place mentally. And I'm grateful to be going to therapy and combing through a lot of my stuff. And I'm actually coming to some realizations of a lot of things as well for self. And yeah, but I guess like, I even in real life, like everybody compliments the smile on my face every time. Everyone's always like, you're always smiling and you're so happy and stuff like that. Like, I never have ever made like my problems show themselves to other people or behave in a certain way because of something that's happening in my life. A lot of people will never know that I deal with like depression and anxiety. I think now more anxiety than anything else. Like I'm feeling like very anxious with a lot of things in life right now. And like a lot of people don't know that. And also I'm not going to be that person who's going to be like, yeah, I just can't do that because I have anxiety or I have depression or whatever. Like, no. So also behind that smile, like 80% of the time I am happy, but there's of course there's the 20% where it's a storm. It's rain, it's cloudy days, but I embrace them. I always say embrace the tears. Tears are cleansing, water is healing, it's water coming out. Like you just need to let go and let be and find self and find peace. But also don't make it your whole identity or an excuse to be a shitty person. But like that's also just a side of my life. That's why I am a strong advocate of mental well-being and taking care of your mental well-being and going to therapy if you can and combing through all your traumas. I feel like we all have them. Sometimes we think we don't, but there's some underlying things. Some of us cope better, which I've been told, like I have managed to work through things, acknowledge things. I'm very self-aware. And I also started learning this thing about, I think I have the gift of discernment and I'm an empath and I'm sensitive. Something I didn't fully understand. I used to just be like, why am I always crying? Is it just all these bottled up emotions? I'm like, no, you're sensitive, girl. You're sensitive. There's also the other side of me that can also put up a wall and be very hardcore. And I think that's just the Capricorn side of me. I don't know how to explain it. I think also I've spoken it about a few times. Another little struggle I've had, and now because we're turning 34, is I guess body image. I've never been diagnosed with body dysmorphia, but I self-diagnosed myself a while ago, where I go through so many extremes, and I've literally been like the same weight and size for the past, what are we now, 3 years or so. So I've never gotten bigger and I've never gotten smaller. Literally every time I go on a scale it's the same weight, so I'm kind of like, okay, cool. But being comfortable in my skin has also been like very hard. And I feel like when you scroll through social media and all of that stuff, and it's like, take a picture like this so you can look taller, skinnier, longer, whatever, I'm kind of like, this is a lot. Like, this is why we're now having body image issues. And like, I like the cute stuff, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, like, is that actually nice, or is this because they're skinny and it's not looking nice on me because I'm not skinny? And I've been there, I've been tiny, and everything looked good on me because I was skinny, but now I'm just like mid-size girly trying to find her style. But I think I found it. I have officially found my style at the tender age of 33. And my style is literally whatever makes me feel happy and sparks joy when I put it on, literally. That is me. That is my vibe. I've never been a beige girl. I've never been a neutral girl. Like, that's never been my aesthetic. So I've always been going off the beaten track. Other people are going left. I'm like, what's right? What's over there? But and then again, I've always been somebody who has moved to the beat of her own drum. And now that I went from a stage of, I don't even know how to dress. I'm just putting on clothes, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm kind of like, I like the stuff that makes me happy. I like the dopamine. I like if I put on a dress and I try it on and I'm like, wow, I'm adding it to cart. And my wardrobe is very colorful. And I think it first started with my nails. I always had these fun, cute nails. Like, I used to do like normal nails like this, like I call them the boring sobe housewife nails. And then I was like, this is so boring. And maybe because of my career as a lawyer, like, kind of just like have navies, blah, 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 blah. You kind of like told you need to be navies, blacks, neutral colors. It can't be colorful. And that didn't bring me joy. Maybe that's why also I was just not happy at work. And then slowly I was like, but I want fun nails. I want like character art on my nails. I want popping nails. And that's how it started. That was the starting point that actually ended up leading me into my style now. And also working through our body dysmorphia, and just like working on that and being like, you know what, this is our body, we love our body, and you look great, let's get in the confidence. Yeah, go to the gym, work out, but don't push yourself to the point where it becomes unhealthy, because I have been on both extremes now, and my weight gain was more to do with my depression, and I didn't realize I had depression, and you just didn't have the will or energy to get up, go to the gym, all of that stuff. It just was depressing. But now I'm kind of like, okay, let's just work on ourselves. And research has also shown just because somebody is a certain size doesn't mean they're unhealthy. You could be healthy too. I'm also a woman. We have other hurdles we have to jump with womanhood, especially in our 30s, and as we get older and stuff like that. And also when you just like grow up in a household where your weight was weight watched, you're just weight watched, and stuff like that. And then there's other aspects that also has been playing on my body dysmorphia and stuff like that, like you feel like you'll never be like loved the way you are, but I know I will be, like, here we go again, crying rivers. But anyway, I feel like I need to love me first. I had to remind myself that like I am the first love of my life. I am my first love, and nobody's gonna love me the way I'm gonna love myself at the end of the day. And I owe myself that love. I need to love me more than I love anything and anyone in this world, and remind myself that I am my first love and the love of my life, because this is my life. And love begins with me. And I am loving self. I am loving that I found my style. I've even found my decor style, and those things make me so happy. I love Pilates. I have found an activity, physical activity, that actually makes me happy, which is Pilates. And I try to go every morning now. I've told myself I want a routine where I go to Pilates every morning, and stuff like that, because end of the day I know myself and I know what will make me happy at the end of the day. You cannot read in a magazine or a book or on Google like, oh, just because you have depression or whatever, like this is what's going to make you happy. I think it's also about knowing yourself, and this is what makes me happy. Being more creative, finding creative hobbies has been making me so much happier. I'm glad I started painting and doing all these different creative mediums. Now I know I like watercolor, but I'm also just not confident myself in drawing. But so now I'm going to be doing abstract watercoloring, abstract texture painting and stuff like that, instead of stressing about like, oh, I need to learn how to draw a person or stuff like that. Like I used to be that person when I was a teenager. I used to draw fashion dresses. I wish I still had that book. I have learned, I listened to a podcast and it said it's okay to have regrets. I regret leaving my suitcase at that boarding school with all my stuff, because right now I wish I could pull them out and just reflect on that person that I used to be and be like, wow, girl, and like find her again. But sometimes you have to let go of the past to make room for the new version of you. And at the end of the day, I found myself again. This path has led me back to that person that I am. I'm just older, wiser, and more sure of myself. So I can obviously go back to drawing all those things. I used to draw the coolest ball gowns and stuff. Like I used to be like, do I want to be a fashion designer? I don't know. Like I used to draw like these amazing ball gowns, these fashion dresses, like that creativity. I miss that creativity, and that's why now I am back being creative. So I say this to say, find what makes you happy, basically. If it's going to Pilates every day, go to Pilates. And not in a way of like, oh, because everybody's doing it. I just wanted to get back into fitness, and I chose Pilates. And I fell in love with Pilates. And now I love it. It's not like my aesthetic or whatever. Like I love Pilates. I love how it feels, and I love how I feel. I feel happier after Pilates. I do want to slowly go back into weight training, but maybe like twice a week, 3 times, because I used to do that, but that was from a place of I don't even know what the word is. It was a coping thing, because on the day when I stopped, things fell apart. Things fell apart. I crumbled at the seams. So I'm slowly getting back into it and finding what makes me happy at the end of the day. If Pilates is the only thing I'm going to be doing fitness-wise until I am 80, so be it. End of the day is what makes me happy. I'm getting back into walking, but I realize I like walking when there's a plan. I don't like just walking just to walk. I want to walk where it's like, oh, I want to go to the Asian supermarket down the road. Let's walk there and walk back. Oh, I want to go to that cafe. Oh, it's just a 20-minute walk from your house. Let's walk there, have a thingy, and walk back. Like, that's my walking for me. Unless you're taking me to a pretty garden with pretty flowers and pretty birds that I can hear singing, then yes, me and my camera are going to be capturing the magical moments of that walk. But yeah, even though I'm loving creating outfit of the day videos, blah, 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 I still have that little body dysmorphia when I edit and I see the double chin. And when you take photos now, you're like, ooh, 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 ooh. Now, and I'm like, I also don't want to waste my time worrying about double chins. And does this look like, if I look good and feel good in that outfit, you look good and feel good. I need to stop overanalyzing, stop criticizing myself, and just be happy, you know? And this is the year of fully falling back in love with self and so much more. Like, I can't wait to look back on this video next year and be like, wow, is this you, girl? Is this you glowing from the inside and outside? So much power in just finding self and do what you want. Find your aesthetic. What is your core aesthetic? Find what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Do what brings you joy. Just find that spark and keep that spark alive.